people, welcome. So today I thought I would sit down and talk to you guys about my 5-year plan because it's something that I have really stressed in the last several months. And I've also done several videos on the subject. And I wanted to pull it all together for you guys, tell you exactly how to create a 5-year plan. And I also wanted to have a tool for you to use to create your own 5-year plan. I know that not everybody has training in strategic planning and does it as a part of what they do in life. So I wanted to create something that you all could use if you wanted to create a 5-year plan. So that is linked in the description box below. But to start off, I wanted to share with you my 5-year plan and then kind of tell you how it all came together and how I'm moving into year 4 of this plan. I'm actually already in year 4. So I did a video already talking about why I started this plan, so I'll link it so we don't have to get into it. But when I decided to create this plan, I created a mission, a vision, and value statement to help push me, to help drive me, to help keep me going through this time. Thinking about my end goal, what I want my life to look like, really does help me stay on track. Push me. And then writing my mission every single day helps me not get complacent. It's really important. And then referencing my values really helps me make decisions, helps me decide on habits. And so building that foundation for my plan was really, really essential. And then something I talked about early on, because I wanted to share that I spent a whole month on it, was the SWOT analysis. And from that, I was able to develop my strategic direction for the plan. So I really wrote it down. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you a bit of my strategic direction and goals, the overview of it. So I said, with the realization of this 5-year plan, I will live a financially stable life with healthy relationships. I will be that girl. I will not only be valued at work, but also have developed side hustles to move toward the secure financial lifestyle I seek. Hopefully, with the realization of this plan, I will be enjoying my daily existence and have a strong sense of self, knowing that my life is headed in a good direction. I will live a life based on my own ingenuity and confidence that I am living the life I've imagined. I do not want to struggle unnecessarily. I will learn what I need to be both professionally, financially, and emotionally stable and healthy. Truly, I realize that I have to take care of myself and I have to stop wasting time. I have no delusion about time on earth. I know it's limited. I know that I could die tomorrow. So there is no excuse for me to not live my best life. This plan is important to me. So I will execute the path that I have set for myself for the next 5 years. So after making that declaration for myself, I went ahead and created 5 strategic directions for my life that are broad. Then I created goals that would help me get to the end result. So my financial goal for the end of these 5 years, just 5 years, is to be completely financially stable and working towards a stable retirement. And so I define that as having a completely fully funded emergency fund, fully funded sinking fund, a home of my own. I have bought a home at that point. I am debt-free completely, and I am contributing towards retirement. For me, that is financially stable. Now, I also have a 10-year money plan, and within that, I have vacations and things like that, but the larger goal will be reached if I have those things in place. And so I reverse engineered it. I said in year 1, what do I need to do to realize those things? Well, I could decide to tackle all that at once, or tackle them separately. And so I had to learn. I had to read books. Eventually I got a financial advisor when I can afford it. But I read books to help me form an idea of what I wanted my plan to look like. Did I want to go the Dave Ramsey route and live hand to fist, live real tight, and just throw all my money at debt? Or did I want to go the I will teach you to be rich route, where I prioritize certain things and have a month and a half of savings and so forth and so on. And I do have a blog post that I have shared some of those books, so I'll link that below. But once I decided that, it was very easy for me to decide on a financial plan for 5 years. At the beginning of this, I wasn't single, but I had no job. I was getting money through various avenues, freelance work, YouTube, etc. But I had to decide, okay, when I get this money, I'm gonna do this. And I need to do this in order to get a job. Using your SWOT analysis, write down your financial priorities. So you have a vision for your life. You're gonna take those SWOT analysis and look to see, of those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, what will get you to that life vision. Determine some large goals and map out how you can get there. I did that for financial, career and business, personal development, and relationships. 5 different areas of my life. So what exactly is the end result of my 5-year plan? Because I could go through the whole thing, but that's a lot, right? So I told you financial. Career. Career-wise, I want to be an executive in the arts field. And so that meant not having a job. First, I had to get a job, right? Then I had to figure out the path that I wanted to take, like what job I wanted, right? I work in fundraising. There are a lot of executive options, a lot of different paths for that. So I had to figure out first to get a job. Then I had to figure out the requirements within that job to advance, what I needed to do, what certifications I needed to acquire, what kind of outside work I needed to do to get there in 5 years. So that's what I've done, and I'm already executive leadership, I'll tell you that. 5 years, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing as far as my career goes. I'm just telling you now. And then business-wise, that's this, right? And I just wanted to have a viable side hustle. I wanted a side hustle that I could build to the point where it could pay 1 month of expenses every single month. Because if I lost my job, I didn't want to be up the creek without a paddle. I wanted to have an income source, right? I don't want to make the same I'm making my job, because I think that amount of work would be insane. I don't want to give up my job. I don't want to be a full-time influencer. But I do want to build my side hustle to the point where it's making at least a good salary, right? And so I've been working to do that. That first year, I just had to figure out the platforms, how to grow on the platforms, right? I wasn't growing at all. And so I figured that out. And I do have a blog post talking about how I got to 15K. This year alone, I have had over 5,000 new subscribers. And that's the kind of growth I seek. I had to figure out what kind of growth I wanted, right? I don't want viral growth. I want organic growth here. I want to build a tribe because of my mission with this space, which is really to empower Black people. The goal is to make money, but that's not my mission. The same things that drive me, right? My values, the same values that drive me in my career are the values that drive me in this side hustle, right? And so the goal is to make a certain amount of money each month, and I will get there over 5 years. Like I said, this is not quick. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm trying to build a great, viable side hustle. And I think I've definitely done that, and I'm doing it. I do have income reports on my blog if you guys are interested. And then personal development. This was an area I knew I needed the most growth in. And this is the play off the It Girl thing, but also from Long Hair Care Forum. Way back in the day, we used to have a thing talking about being that girl. And for me, it's defined probably different than some other people. I'm not talking hair and makeup only, even though that is a part of it. I'm talking about my overall self. We're talking hair, makeup, skincare, exercise, clothing, diet, sharpening my mind, building my career, pursuing my passions, and taking care of myself along the way. That's a lot. That's a lot for 5 years, and yet it's happening. One of the first things I wanted to do was develop a sense of personal style. I didn't want to follow the trends. And so I created a capsule wardrobe list, and I put it on my blog, and I have been working off of it. And I'm getting to the point where I'm almost done. I have a lot of accessories to buy. But I could definitely any day step out and feel confident in what I'm wearing. Confident that I'm wearing something that represents me, that I look my best. And then on top of the outward was the inward. And so I wanted to develop a very strong sense of self-love and self-worth and self-acceptance. I'm pretty self-confident, like that's evident, right? But I wanted to do the work to really make sure that I loved myself to the fullest and was taking care of myself, both mentally as well as physically. And so my goal for the first year, I remember my mental health goal was to deal with stress effectively. And that is where a lot of my habits and wellness routines developed in that first year. I really knew that I was going to stress myself out these 5 years. And so I focused very heavily that first year on just developing good coping habits. I couldn't afford therapy. Now I can. I've picked that up in year 3. But I had to figure out how to actually develop routines that took care of my mental health, and they weren't just like taking a bath, right? And that's still a good coping mechanism. It's something I do. But things that really took care of my mental health. And I've shared some of that. A lot of you guys have seen a lot of that. And in 2021, I do intend to demonstrate more. So you will see more videos of me encouraging you to do wellness with me. That's something I want to take into 2021 because I think it's something important for our community. But I'll talk more about that. But this goal, the realization of it for me will be me being that girl, that wholeheartedly well-rounded individual who loves themselves, who accepts themselves as they are, but is still working to be the best version of me, right? Who has the mental health practices there. I don't think that I am perfect or infallible or anything like that, but what I can do is work to be the best me, right? And so that's what I've been doing. And I can say that I'm in a good place. I'm definitely in a good place moving into year 4. Therapy was definitely the right move at this point. It was the thing that needed to get me to the next level. And I'm actually really looking forward to developing more of me next year. And then last but not least, we have relationships. And this one's huge too. Like every aspect of this is huge, right? This is my life. And so this is huge. But relationships, I wanted to develop both personal and professional relationships in very solid ways. So personally, I want to make sure that I am showing up for everyone in my life who shows up for me. And so that's sending the Christmas cards. That's that text, that email, that phone call. Keeping these people close in my life, not taking for granted these relationships and these people that support me. Also recognizing the relationships that I needed to let go of. I am single. I was not single at the beginning of this, right? I let go of friendships that just weren't serving me. I am much more intentional about building friendships, building relationships, being a good daughter, sister, aunt, friend, and also building my professional network. Look, anyone that tells you that building relationships at work is not important is lying. 9 times out of 10, people get those big careers because they knew somebody that knew somebody, or they get that job because they knew somebody that knew somebody, or they build their freelance business. They become an entrepreneur because they have a strong network. And so as an introvert, that did not come natural to me. I'd be like, no new friends. I am not shy, but at the same time, I'm very comfortable with who I know. And so developing the skills to go into a room and introduce myself to people and stay in touch with people and become a connector was hard. But that's the ultimate goal. I want to be a connector. That's what I want to be professionally. And I'm working towards it. It's gonna, like, it's happening actually. And to be really good at my job, I have to be personable. I am personable, but like I have to be willing to meet people and connect people. And so that was really a personal goal, but it's also a professional goal. And so I had to figure out connection. That was really what I had to figure out at the most basic level. How I wanted to be connected to people, who I wanted to be connected with, who I didn't want to be connected with, what wasn't healthy for me connection wise. And so really all of this stuff ties in together, right? This is me building a life I don't need a break from. Me building a life that I can be proud of, that I don't mind living in this trash world. And this is as planned. I will say, and this is something I really want to emphasize, I cannot and have not predicted what will happen year to year to year. I have a goal. I have a life I want. And I just take it 1 year at a time. I have these goals that I want to achieve within these 5 years, but all I can do is say this year, this is what I'm going to do. And then hopefully I can build on it for the next year. And that's how I have approached this. I haven't said in year 1, I'm going to pay off all my debt. In year 2, I'm going to fully fund my emergency fund. In year 3, I'm going to fully fund my sinking funds. In year 4, I'm going to buy a home. No, that's not what happened at all. I just decided this is the end result. This is how I could get there. Like, these are the steps to get there. And this is what I'm going to do in year 1. And so that is what I created for you all. That's the ebook I created. Something to help take you through this process so you can figure out exactly the actual things you need to get to that end point, and to discover what you really want. Because in the end, that's really what you have to do. You have to figure out what you want, who you want to be, and how you're going to be in this world. And I knew I couldn't do that with just a template. So I created an ebook and I linked it below to share with you all. And this for me was not planned. This was not part of the 5-year plan. I didn't plan on sharing it. That's why I'm just coming to you guys in the midst of year 4. Like, I just began year 4 in December. And that's also why I'm just creating this ebook and I'm sharing this stuff with you all, because it's been so impactful in my life. And part of what I value is community and sharing with my community what we can do to be better for ourselves in this trash world that really it's not here for us. And so that's what this is for me. That's why I felt compelled to share. And I'm hoping that this is useful for somebody. So there's a link in the description box to the ebook, but in the comments, let me know if you followed along with me. I have created a playlist with all of this so that it's just one place where you can find all the information about creating the 5-year plan. It's part of what I do in 2021. We're going to experience year 4 together, right? There's some things I can't share with you, but I am going to share with you me working through my goals, adjusting my plan as I go, and trying to reach those goals while still just enjoying every moment of life. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts. I know this was a long one and I apologize for that, but I really wanted to give context here and let you guys know where I'm coming from and share a resource in the description box below. So until next time, be well, be safe, and find a bit of joy in every day.